Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joonas Keskinen, the program manager of Art Testers, and I work at the Association of Finnish Children's Cultural Centers. Before I start my presentation, we're gonna have the world premiere of Art Testers trailer, which I just received 10 minutes to 2, so I haven't seen it myself. So I'm not sure if it's the final version because I haven't approved it yet. But I'm going to show it to you, and this is a film that's... The reason we made this is that we want 8th graders and the secondary school students to know what is Art Testers and start expecting it. And when they go and take part in our program, they would know better what they're taking part in because based on our surveys, they really don't know what they're doing. So, I'm quite excited about this. Is the sound on? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you. That was the Finnish version. There will be a Swedish version and an English version as well, but as said, the deadline was yesterday, but this happens to me as well, so I'm not blaming anyone. I have to also tell that the director of the film called me in the morning when we were making it. He called me like 7:30 in the morning and told that his wife had gotten a positive result on the COVID-19 test. And he stayed in the car for 10 hours and gave instructions from there to the technical crew. So it's okay that they are a bit late. Let's see, where's my presentation? It should be here. It's this, no. It was here before. Yep. So, Art Testers. I try to be brief. I have a gazillion slides, but I try to be as brief as possible. So, I'm here to tell you about Art Testers program, which is the biggest and only national culture education program in Finland, and it's coordinated by the aforementioned Association of Finnish Children's Cultural Centers, and it's funded by 2 private foundations, the Finnish Cultural Foundation and Swedish Cultural Foundation in Finland, and since 2020 also by the state, the Ministry of Education and Culture, which at the moment funds about 1/3 of our budget. So how it all began, first there were a lot of thoughts that came up in the minds of the people working at the Finnish Cultural Foundation headquarters in Helsinki. And since I wasn't there, I'm not sure what they were actually thinking or what was their core idea originally. But I know that they were thinking that Finland is turning 100 years in 2017, and the foundation's base capital was collected by school children in 1938, so the foundation wanted to give something back to the children. They had already done smaller projects before, but in 2016, after doing some research that showed that, for example, only 10% of Finnish schools organize art trips, they decided that they want to go, like, put all in and go all the way. And so Art Testers was born. It started in 2016. Basically, we started operating 2007 academic year, 2017-2018, and it was supposed to run only till 2020. It was supposed to be a 3-year project, but we're still up and running, and we're trying to make this a permanent, publicly funded part of the Finnish school curriculum. But anyway, the original plan was to offer almost 200,000 students and their teachers trips to art attractions or art institutions all around Finland. The Finnish Culture Fund asked Swedish Culture Fund and the Association of Finnish Children's Cultural Centers along, and so we started working. During the first 3 years, we took all Finnish 8th graders for 2 visits. One to a local art institution, like in their own region, and another one to Helsinki, to the capital, and mainly to national art institutions, which are all there. Since March 2020, we haven't been doing this, partly because of COVID, but also because of limited funding. But I strongly believe that in the future, sooner or later, we are gonna go back and make some kind of comeback or return to this model of offering these trips to the capital as well. Not necessarily to all, because we have to work on that a little bit, because sometimes it doesn't make sense to travel 12 hours to see a concert and then travel 12 hours back. So we need to develop that a little bit. We cover the tickets and, of course, the transportation costs, which are a huge part of our expenses. So what happens during these visits? We have, they travel, the school groups travel to opera, dance, theater, concert, visual arts exhibition, or circus. And it's mostly what one would call like high culture. We are not working with popular culture. We try to take the youth to see something that they wouldn't traditionally see. And we also want to offer them something extra, which could be meeting the artists or sneak peeks behind the stage or even workshops where they make their own art. And in addition to this, we work with the art institutions and schools to create pedagogical material that the teachers can use at the school to prepare for the visit. And also during the visit, some pedagogical material or some this kind of educational work is usually done, and also back at school to reflect on the experiences. The whole point of this is trying to make art altogether more approachable and feel more sort of easygoing and relaxed altogether. And it can be like a terrifying thing for a person to go to theater for the first time. Like, if you don't know what is expected of you, what are you supposed to do there? Like, are you allowed to speak? How do you need to dress? All this is new for many 8th graders, which are 14 to 15-year-olds. And for us adults, it's sometimes, and like for us, because we work in the field of arts and culture, it's hard to imagine that it can be so scary and terrifying. So as mentioned, Art Testers is the largest cultural education program in Finland. And it was actually a surprise that we really reach the whole age group every year. We were expecting to get like maybe 70% or something like that, but it's been 100. We have one school in Finland of the 800 upper schools that hasn't taken part ever. It's a private school in Helsinki. The number is like about 60,000 students and 5,000 teachers per academic year. And we, for example, this academic year offered 2 trips to everyone. So that's about 140,000 trips. Plus, we also got permission to organize a trip for current 9th graders that missed the trip last year due to COVID. So this year, if everything goes well, we are going to organize 190,000 art trips. But what makes art testers? Who are testing and what is the outcome of this testing? We are interested in what you think, what they want, what speaks to them, and how can we, together with the art institutions around Finland, develop more high-quality content that's appealing for the youth. For this, we've created a browser-based app where all the art testers, the 8th graders, can give feedback and review of their experiences with the art. And they are openly available at the art testers website, taidetestaajat.fi. This shows some of the results that we've gotten, but there's a lot more. It's in Finnish, English, and Swedish, so also our international guests can see what the Finnish 8th graders think. Currently, we have 135,000 reviews. And it's a lot of data that needs processing before I can tell you what is exactly what interests the 8th graders. But what I can tell you is that talent and skill is one thing that they appreciate. And they also like this kind of cheerful comedy things. But that's not a surprise, I think. Well, now we're here in Lahti, in the environmental capital of Europe at the moment. And I really, really think that this sustainable development in all areas of life that's the most important thing at the moment. All in all, arts and culture field and art testers as part of it is at the core of sustainability and sustainable development in many ways. I strongly believe that in addition to scientific data and this kind of facts and knowledge, also emotional and aesthetic experiences are important in creating better understanding of others, empathy, and in the end, better future. Giving equal access to arts and culture removes inequality, of course, because we are removing inequality. However, as we are moving tens of thousands or almost 200,000 people, transportation is something that we really need to think and how it affects on things. I must say that the schools themselves have said that traveling and learning traveling skills and expanding the sort of habitat of the youth is one goal that they really wait from art testers. It's not necessarily even the art content. It might be the traveling itself that's also important in many ways. And since we're doing it, it's not possible to travel completely emission-free nowadays. But we will try our best at it. For example, we require the bus companies to use as modern and ecological vehicles or buses as possible. The problem is, all in all, that the car fleet in Finland is old, and for it to be renewed, we need others as well, not only us, to demand this. And we also need political willpower to change the thing, because it's expensive. Businesses can't afford to buy more ecological cars. Since March 2020, there's been no flights, of course, since there's been no trips to Helsinki. But already during the first 3 years, we were able to decrease the amount of flights almost 40% from where it started by starting organizing trips so that they fly one way and they take the night train back. And also offering schools the possibility to say that they don't want to use airplane or flight. Our primary method of transport should be, and often has been, train. But also with that we have a capacity problem in Finland, and the fact that the East Finland and Eastern Finland and North especially, the railway network in Finland is not that good. But all in all, the matter is important, and we will do our best in creating a better future and trying to make it as ecologically as possible. Thank you.
All right. I'm actually not supposed to be here talking, but here I am. My name is Henna Keihäs, and I'm cultural producer of children cultural center Efekti here in Lahti, and we are one of the hosts here in the event. So welcome you all. And this is a surprise what's coming here, so let me have a look. Like I said, Matti was supposed to be here, but he's late in the other one. So Efekti is children's cultural center here in Lahti, and it covers not only Lahti, but other surrounding areas as well. And we are waiting for Iitti to join as well, hopefully. They already were supposed to be here, but not yet in a program. And there's Matti coming, so he can continue from here. So I give stage to him.
Missä sä olit niinku menossa?
Tästä
Okay, this is the normal amount of children and families we reach every year. 42,000. This couple of years has been, of course, different because of the COVID. But this is the basic idea of the work we are doing to ensure children's regular experiences of art and culture, because the foundation point of all we do is that we want to reach every children in, for example, if we do activities for the second grade students, we try to get all of them to visit our concerts or other productions. And of course, we are a member of the Finnish Association of Children's Cultural Centers and involved in a nationwide art tester project. And how we organize or manage and decide what to do every year is that we have this steering group which has members of all municipalities involved in our actions. And we gather together 3-4 times a year to decide what to do next. And our staff, the cultural services of Lahti, we have a responsibility for coordination here in Lahti. Because the sizes of these municipalities, they differ very much. For example, a couple of these little towns, they only have 3,000, 4,000 inhabitants. and in Lahti we have 120,000, so the difference is very, very big, but we have, I think, find a way to do cooperation that it's okay for the little villages and big cities also. And now it's time for Susanna to tell us something about the cultural program in basic education.
Thank you. My name is Susanna Koponen, and I'm the cultural pedagogue here in Lahti and also one of the coordinators in Art Testers. Okay, we started our cultural program, which is one of the cultural education plans. We started in 2009, and our aim is to introduce different forms of arts and culture and the cultural services in Lahti. So in the 9 years of basic education, our pupils visit libraries, theaters, concerts, and 4 units of Lahti City Museum. This supports our curriculum in a very direct way. So, for example, they visit historical museum when they start to study history. The program includes 1 or 2 visits every school year, and teachers are provided with the material, especially made for the purpose, and the material is made by the personnel of the institutes. So this means that about 13,000 pupils visit our institutions every year as part of their school day. So this is how it looks like here in Lahti. On the left there is a grade, and on the right there's where they visit. So red or orange ones are the orchestras. So our symphony orchestra, pupils visit there on the 2nd grade and on 6th grade. And then the blue ones are the museums. We have 4 units, the Ski Museum, the Museum of Visual Arts, which we get next spring, and the Historical Museum and the Radio and TV Museum. And then there is theatre, Lahti City Theatre, and Youth Theatre, which are the green ones there. And of course, our libraries are a part of this, and art testers, and then there is a design workshop on the 5th grade. So this is how it goes every year. You can continue.
Okay. And one thing I want to mention about this, that there's a School of Art and Design, Taika. They have their own exhibition there in Metsähalli, if you haven't noticed that there's some works done by the students this year. So check it out. And also this cottage from Kaarisilta, also in an exhibition. First, there's a brief information about our festival, the Lahti Winter Carnival for children, which is one of the largest children's festival in Finland. 3 weeks in every January, February, and the next one will be 39th in a row, so we have a long history to do this festival. The audience for normal years is that 12,000, 14,000 visitors each year. It depends, of course, what kind of activities we have every year. But normal festival, we have like 120, 130 different concerts, exhibitions, theater shows, puppet theater, all kind of children culture. And the festival is funded by the City of Lahti and also the Ministry of Education and Culture. So if you are planning to come to Lahti next January, February, check the dates and visit also the festival. last is thanks for all. And maybe if you have any questions, now is the time, and then we can have coffee.
Matti, I have a question about your COVID inspiration that you did in Lahti. Could you briefly describe what you did here in Lahti when everything was shut down?
Yeah, because normally what we do is that the group of students come to, for example, to Sibelius Hall and go to the concert, or vice versa, the artist goes to the school and inside in some like gymnastic hall or some place there they gather all the students and they have a concert or theater show or something. Of course, because of the COVID, that couldn't be done in last year. So we thought a lot what to do, and we decided that where is it safe to to do art, and that is outside, not in the buildings, not in the schools, not in the concert halls, but in the forest and woods. So we made this circus show which visited 100 different places, different schoolyards, different kindergarten yards, and all the artists and all the children, they were outside. And they made these circus shows in November, in December, in May, in all kind of weather, but but it can be done if you are prepared to do that. And it was the solution to do art in this COVID situation, because outside you can have this 2 meter turvaväli, what is it, the barrier, and all the children, they stayed in the same group that they study, so it was safe, and it was possible to do that on COVID time. And I think it was very interesting because first we thought that we can't get any artists to do that because they are like used to have proper places to do art inside, but we found 8-9 artists that were ready to do that, and I think it was great, and all the artists thought that too, that it was very new experience to do it. There were raining, there were snow, there were sun, every kind of weather, but they didn't mind. And of course the children don't mind. They can be outside and watch the art. That's of course possible for them.